Welcome to part 2 of the WESTSIDER. We're in Independence, Oregon, on the Portland and Western West Side branch. I felt inclined to take a few minutes to document the delightful downtown scene of Independence. It has a classy modern appeal, all while honoring its history, preserved nicely in its architecture. On the north end of town, this fuzzy fella has a front row seat to a pretty spectacular view. The tracks cross Ash Creek on a substantial trestle, and that's just about 150 feet after the rails leave several blocks of street running. Where we're standing now is about halfway between milepost 709 and 710. With headlights appearing around the corner, I may be one of the only people who know this sleepy little town is about to be cut into two for a while as the 81-car Behemoth rolls north. I conservatively estimated that the average car length of this train is 72 feet long. That times 81 would equal 5,832 feet, plus 60 feet per locomotive, and you've likely got a 6,012-foot train, well over a mile long. I wouldn't imagine, however, that many folks in their cars are appreciating how the goods in those 6,012 feet are benefiting their economy as much as wondering when it will ever end. The WESTSIDER is actually two trains in one. The gondolas, bulkhead flats, and hoppers on the head end are destined for the Mack switcher. On the rear, the center beams, pull cars, and tank are for the Willamina switcher. The majority of the Mack switcher train will service the giant Cascade steel rolling mill. These two hoppers are for the Land O'Lakes Purina feed on the south end of McMinnville. In the final installment of this series, we'll get to see the train get broken up into the two jobs at Whiteson and go their separate ways. Just beyond the street running, P&W made use of some concrete ties, a rarity on Oregon's branch lines. TTZX 863-790 marks the first car in the Willamina portion of the train. For those curious, the head end of the train for the Mack Switcher has 38 cars, while the rear for the Willamina has 43. All the pull cars are destined for the Stella Jones Treated Pull Yard near Sheridan. The Argon refrigerated liquid car gets unloaded at a team track in Whiteson. Right outside of town, track speeds increase to 25 miles per hour, so I'd better hurry if I want to get the train at the big elevators at Derry. But first, we need to take a look at an obscure railroad property in Independence that seems very out of place. In the middle of a residential neighborhood, running through front, back, and side yards, is an abandoned railroad track coming unceremoniously to an end here at the intersection of Ash and Williams Streets. Up ahead, we see switches leading to an enclosed facility resembling a small engine house. While kids play in their yards nearby, this small block-sized rail yard and shop sit silently. What we're looking at was once the center of operations for a short-line railroad. We could go further in saying it was a shortened line of a short line that once traveled west 40 miles into the coastal mountains of Oregon, the Valley and Siletz Railroad. By 1978, the bulk of this railroad was abandoned and cut back to just 2 miles. But a private operator stepped in, purchasing the remaining trackage, and operated it under the name Willamette Valley Railroad, even adorning daylight colors to their locomotive. However, by then, only the Mountain Fir Lumber Company remained. And then it too closed in 1992, resulting in all tracks being removed past this location 2 years later. Today, only a silent, curious graveyard of equipment and tracks remain. Its extremely compact size and interest bring to mind its potential as a subject for a limited space model railroader out there. The line sits derelict, surprisingly, still more than 30 years later, as citizens go about their lives having adapted to its existence as if it wasn't even there. The tracks interchanged with the SP at V&S Junction, which would be visible up ahead. Now it's time for me to get ahead of the train and catch up with it at Derry. We'll see you there.